Morning, Honorable MEC and your team, and welcome to this meeting. This is the committee, the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. Without necessarily wasting time, I will quickly introduce the members of the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. Thereafter, I would allow the Honorable MEC, Honorable Chitareke Matibe, to introduce his team. This matter that we're supposed to deal with is actually a re-adjudication of the passenger forum Mukopane. The MEC will remember, together with the team, they appeared before the Standing Committee last year in November when we were in Sikukuni district. Then want to get progress with regard to the matter. There's a progress update on the matter, so that we are able also to give feedback to the petitioners. We have not invited them today because we thought we could then get a progress report from the department, then we'll be able also to give them feedback. I'm the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. My name is Maurice Mataboge. On my right, it's Honorable Mokaba, Honorable Pokane, Honorable Machete, Honorable Kutsi Chivase, Honorable Sipuru, Honorable Dr. Selane. Yeah, you can just remove your hands from the face so that they can see you. Yeah, and Honorable Advocate Max. So we also have the support staff. I would then request the coordinator of the committee, Dr. Adingwana, to quickly introduce the support staff and the Human Rights Commission, which we normally invite them in our meeting, just also to give guidance on the matters that we are also dealing with.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Pula Radingwana. I'm the coordinator for this committee. And then with me here we have Joyce Malachi, who is our manager petitions. We have Date Hwasha that side from IT. We have Emily Masemola, who is our researcher. We have Ndate Kotza, who is our legal advisor. We have Advocate Bilusa from Protocol. We have Ndate Patanzwana from Human Rights Commission. We have Ndate Peter Tobahale from Political Support. We have Ndate Dr. Matoani from Political Support. And then we have Ndate Mori. I always thank you very much. Ndate Mori from
So I'm the photo. Because he always forgets you.
Okay, Jefferson, we have Ndate NHC also from Communications. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Coordinator. Can I then allow Honorable MEC to just introduce his team?
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and greetings to you and honorable members of the Petitions Committee and Support Team. I'm Matibe Chitareke, the MEC for Economic Development, Environment and Tourism. I will hand over to the HOD, Dr. Ratumbu. We also have doctors here from our side. Dr. Ratumbu to do the introductions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emis, to the members of the Petition Committee, Chairperson and the members and staff, and our colleagues from my name is Matodzi Ratumbu. On my right is Mr. Chris Litole, the chairperson of the leader board. My immediate left is Dr. Ntsiwa Mukobani, the interim CEO of GNT. On second is the group chief financial officer for leader, also the acting with the glasses there is Mr. Mashele, who is the interim CEO of GNT. Sorry, the interim CFO of GNT. At the back, maybe in these spaces there, the lady is Mr. Womunyane, who is the director in the HOD for support. The gentleman is Mr. Chilidzima Tobo, the director of trade and sector. And at the back, lastly, is the support for the MEC officer. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable MEC and our team for the introduction. Now, for sure you are familiar with the proceedings here. Maybe for those that are coming for the first time, I must just quickly share that with you that in line with Section 10 of the Petitions Act, anybody that appears or comes as a witness before the Standing Committee on Petitions supposed to take an oath or solemn affirmation. Now, in this case, Honorable MEC took an oath as and when he assumed his responsibility as an MPL, will not necessarily take an oath or solemn affirmation. But the team that accompanied the MEC would want to request you to stand up and take an oath or solemn affirmation. You will then indicate your name, your full names and surname, and follow me as and when I will be reading, so that you are able to take an oath or solemn affirmation. I would request you to stand up. Please state your full names and surname by saying I, your full names. Swear that I'll be truthful and honest to the Committee of the Provincial Legislature when giving evidence without any fear, favor or prejudice in accordance with the Limpopo Petitions Act, the Constitution, and other laws. So help me God. Or I affirm. No, thank you very much for honoring our invitation, Honorable MEC and your team. Like I've said, we have met last year in November on the matter of Passenger Forum Mukopane That was the petition that we received from the petitioner. And normally, after receiving the petition, we normally refer the matter to the relevant department. And in this case, it was your department. And indeed, we managed to get a response in time. But we also have the responsibility just also to make follow-up on the engagement that and the commitment that was made in the last meeting. So we would allow, because there were a number of commitment that was made in the last meeting, to say that there are about 8 buses that were expected to be ready by January 2025. And amongst the 3 of them were to be allocated to Mokopane area so that they can continue to provide service to those petitioners. We then want to get the feedback or the progress report with regard to that matter. I will then allow, like I've said, we do not want to invite the petitioners, but we could then get a progress report so that we are able also to give feedback to the petitioners. I would allow the MEC together with his team just to give us a progress report with regard to the matter.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Once again, we are going to give to the acting CEO of GNT to give us the progress report. We must indicate to the Petitions Committee that since we met last time, there has been changes. That is why you see you see new faces, because we have been experiencing a lot of challenges in GNT.
Going to roar.
Yeah.
The last time when that was on the line.
We had to take hard decisions in order to try and change the situation around in GNT. GNT has been operating with less than 100 buses out of 264 routes that they're supposed to do. But I can assure the petition committee that since we took that hard decision, it was hard, things have turned around, and the report that we're bringing today is also very satisfactory, even though we have not yet reached the level that we think is the level that GNT should be. We have given the board of leader and the board of GNT, together with management, until the 31st of August to make sure that all the routes that have got buses. But there is progress. The acting CEO, we had to reallocate him from leader to go and oversee the activities in the GNT. Together with the acting CFO, we had to reallocate them from leader to go and oversee. But the work that they have done so far, from where I'm standing, we can turn around GNT as quickly as possible. We think we won't experience what you always see on the news of pensions not being paid and all other challenges. But I will hand over to him to give on Mokopane and also just an overview of where in terms of the buses.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Committee members. Indeed, we are working very, very hard so that we can have the services, the transport services, go into the communities. And I'm going to, just take you through the progress so far, starting with the Mokopane one. When this complaint, came to the committee, we were still in the old contract. We call it old because that contract has expired on the 31st of May, and on the 1st of April 2025, we started a new one. So we ordinarily say the old contract. Now, in that old contract, GNT was allocated or was awarded routes that required 23 buses in the Mokopane area. And the complaint came about when Mokopane really operating 3 buses at a time, which was as a result of financial difficulties and operational issues that emanate from there. And then now, as we are speaking, we are operating the Mokopane routes under the new contract. And the new contract, there was redesign of routes. Some routes came in, some routes went out. Now, with the new design that came in, some routes went out, and the routes that remained has or requires 12 buses from GNT. And I can confirm to the committee that on the 1st of March, rather on the 1st of April 2025, we were operating 6 buses in Mokopane. So out of that 12 buses, we're still short of 6 buses. Coincidentally, we are sitting here today accounting to the committee. We are receiving additional 6 buses in Mokopane today to make it 12. So the routes that we have in Mokopane, from next week going forward, we'll have the full complement of the 12 buses, albeit reduced scope or reduced routes, because we now have fewer routes than before. When they designed the new routes, the Department of Transport and Community Services, they designed them such that the ones that we have require 12 buses, which we will indeed have on the road by, starting next week. I'm not able to commit to say Monday, but we are working on Monday, because we have already put in application for operating licenses for those 6 buses. If we receive the operating licenses today, then on Monday we'll operate. But in the worst case scenario, on Wednesday, we will have them operational, those 6 buses. Then we will have a full complement of 12 buses doing all the routes that are allocated to GNT. And if I then expand a bit as per directive from the MEC, on the last day of May 2025, we were overall operating 59 buses in GNT. And then, but there was groundwork that was there which we needed to work on. So what was required from us was decision and speed. Make decision, you implement with speed. And with that, we managed to now have 216 buses committed. I'm including the 6 that are not yet on the road, but they have been delivered. So 216 buses. So with the 216 buses that are now available, we will do overall the routes in the province to the extent that out of what is required, 264 buses, the 216 will do work. Looking at all of them, the 216 being on the road after the operating license are obtained, latest by the 15th. And our target it's to complete the 264 by the end of August, so that we can have all the routes being operated and the service being received by the communities as per the contract that we have with the Department of Transport and Community Safety. So that's where we are working on, and then those are the targets that we have, and we are working with speed so that we really deliver that and turn the GNT around. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. That is the report that we are bringing to the...
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC and your team. Just maybe before I give honorable members an opportunity, just to get clarity just on them, on these additional 6 buses that are delivered today, are they new buses or owned by GNT, or are they being leased? Yeah, I think you could respond to that as after honorable members would have actually taken a bite. Honorable members, Honorable Machete, Honorable Chivase, Honorable Pokane, Honorable Sipuru.
No, thanks, Machete Pesi, member of this committee. I just want to check as to my understanding of your operating licenses as relating to the 6 buses. Whether you have that operating license or whether you're still going to get it. And if you are still going to get it, will it be correct from my side that the movement could start on Monday could be an assumption that may not necessarily happen? If that is not the case, and then it would mean that the buses would be there on Monday. So just to get that sense whether you have received the operating license or is still a challenge with regard to the 6 buses. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. No, I just need clarity. When you were busy redeciding routes, new routes, did you able to engage the community or the forum? Because sometimes we find that after that they will come back to us that no, we are having problems now. I just want that clarity. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I must start from the premise that the communities out there need to be provided with services. And we were worried that GNT was not able to meet the requirements. Now, you spoke of the redesign of routes, which reduced the allocated routes drastically from 25 to 12. And I suppose that allocation is based on the need. What is it that informed this drastic cut? What happened to those routes? Who's going to serve them? And the new buses that you are saying, anyway, the chairperson has asked the very same question that I needed to ask. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Greetings to yourself, Chair, as well as other honorable members, our support staff, the MEC and his entourage. I was going to ask the same question as raised by my fellow members.
No, thank you very much. I'm not going to ask anything. I think I understood them very well because I'm working with them. And what I appreciate is that at least there's a move that we all need to, clap hands that something is happening, there will be changes. So I'm happy as the chairperson of economic development with the response. And I just hope even the Mokopane Forum really, they will appreciate. It's a very good move, Honorable MEC. Thank you.
Those who did not raise your hand, I just had to put Honorable MEC, I think if we could then get a response on the questions asked.
No, thank you very much. On the redesigning, the acting CEO will respond. We are having three strategies to deal with the challenges in GNT. We have got buses that are lying there that are not working in our depots. We want to refurbish them. We also have the second strategy, which is to lease. Because if you come into an entity which was having 59 buses and it has 264 routes, you can't buy 100 and something buses at the same time. Buying buses is a process which we have already started. Treasury has granted us the Section 54 to buy the new buses. So the second strategy was to lease buses, and then the third one is to buy new buses, which they have already started. We are hoping by end of March next year, we'll be having 71 new buses, which we're buying. Treasury has allocated us money, but we are leasing buses because if you have got a route and you are not servicing it, we are charged penalties by Department of Transport and Community Safety Services. So we needed to have, in each route you must have a bus. If you don't have a bus, you pay penalties to the department. So the redesigning, it will expatiate. We would have loved to have 23 buses there in Mokopane from where we're standing, but redesigning of the routes is not our responsibility. We are given routes that are redesigned by the Department of Community Safety. So till now we are just given the list of routes. This year you are going to have 264 routes. This is how they look like. But otherwise I will give the
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC and Honorable Committee. Yes, it's true that on the designing of routes, we get what we are given. We cried because we wanted to have even more, but that's what we got from the owner of the routes, and ours now is to perform on what has been given to us. And we engaged forums. We are talking to them all the time so that they understand where we are, even when we are bringing the buses and so on, because we also want them to use the buses. As soon as the bus is there, we want it to be full. so that they can benefit from that, but we can also be able to use the proceeds to strengthen and ensure that GNT, can grow and never comes back to where, it is with difficulties. And then the buses that are going to Mokopane are leased. They are not what we have purchased. And then they are also new, nonetheless. The new buses, we have started the purchasing processes, Honorable MEC said, and we will phase out the leased buses as, we receive in tranches. Then we'll be able to build our own fleet. And in terms of the plans, and these plans are informed by the reality that we have, because we are forced to lease, quite a large number of buses. At the beginning, it should be 205 that we lease. So if you look at it, it's the entire fleet, more or less. So the lease will be phased out over a 3-year period in terms of this plan. If we can do it quicker, yes, we'll be able to do that. But because we'll be building gradually, over 3 years, then we can have the last leased buses being phased out in July 2028, while we'll be building from March next year. The 71 buses, when they come, 71 leased buses will be phased out, and then we have them. And then that strengthens our position, because we would immediately see a better return on them. And then the operating license, we don't have it yet. What happens is when we receive a bus, we take the details of a bus and then submit to the Department of Transport. And then because they've given us a contract, we also attach that and then the route that the bus is going to use, and then they give us the operating license. It takes a day or two. It takes a day or two. We brought 20 buses at once, I think a week ago. They gave us the operating license for all of them the next day. So that's why we talk about 2 days or so getting them, because that's what they do every day, and also they are waiting for all operators to put in the operating license and so on. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I thought we are not talking on these issues, Honorable Dr. Selari, but I've noted that you still want to.
I'm also part of that committee.
Give if Honorable Dr. Selani a mic.
Thank you, Chair. I was saying that I'm part of that committee of economic development. That is why most of the things, even when they report, we deliberately decided to keep quiet, because in that committee we are punching very hard. And I'm quite impressed, though greetings, Honorable MEC, I'm quite impressed by the reporting, because it shows that at another level, we are greatly doing the work. But now, in terms of what is being reported here, we'll just humbly appeal to the entity that they must, from time to time, because already the matter came before the committee, that they must report, communicate with the forum, even though we will give them feedback ourselves. But you must communicate with them so that you are able to satisfy those petitioners or forum. Because really, Chair, you'll agree with me that GNT has discredited the whole LIDAT. And as such, given the report, what is being presented, one will agree to say at least progress has been made thus far. insofar as addressing those problems of corruption, maladministration. Remember, at some point, people just purchased buses to Mercedes-Benz for themselves. And thus far, sitting where we are, the MEC has done great work. And I can assure you that even when we are sitting in that committee, we can register that at least we've got progress here. There is movement. One of the movement that we can see is that the person who's reporting today is not supposed to report where he is. But on the basis of the action of the MEC, today is reporting here. Because those that were supposed to report, some they've run away, some that are found wanting. Of course, there are internal process which are taking place. So all in all, I was saying that I'm bit impressed, Honorable MEC, with regard, but continue to punch even more harder, so that we correct these maladies in these state entities. GNT has in actual fact exposed a lot of things that are happening in this entity, which most of our people, for example, they are not following those things. But at our level, we know what is happening, what they are supposed to do. So, what the MEC has done now, we support. We even told you in our committee, the chairperson can attest to that you must punch hard. And in actual fact, you must not even waste time. Those people, they must run. They must run. It's kind of that principle that you have applied of rotation, where you rotate them, it is in good faith. Because we will not allow, we even express will not allow a rotation where you just rotate people who are found wanting. People, you know that they in corridor mines, they stole a lot. And there are cases which are against them. But you still take those people and you put them in GNT. That is one thing, you know, it might be outside the scope of what we are here for, but it is critical that we must just emphasize it. But the point that I've made,
oh, okay, you want to take also a bite on it. Are you also, no, not you, Honorable Pogan, are you also part of economic development?
No. No, thanks, Chair. From the responses that have been given here, I just want to understand one thing, because I don't want to assume, I want to know. What is the implication of the GNT leasing in contradiction to owning? That's what I just wanted to be clear on. Okay. Thanks, Chair.
You can respond to that.
Thank you. Maybe let me start like this. Where GNT is now, you know, did not have a choice to lease or not to lease. GNT was in a very, very dire situation where GNT, for instance, at one point, I will speak about, let's say, end of May 2025, GNT was not able to pay over 8 million of the goods and services it consumed to run the company. Meaning if you remain at that state, every month GNT would add just over 8 million to its debts. So if end of May, you can't pay 8 million, it's plus 8 million. End of June is plus another 8 million. End of July is plus another 8 million. That is why you see GNT had this big difficulty, because it had running away costs that it can't pay. You get diesel, you can't pay for it. You get employees working, you can't pay them. You get any other thing, you can't pay for it. So it piles, it piles. Now, how do you stop that? You have to stop that by operating the kilometers that you have with the Department of Transport, so that they can give you that subsidy. You can also get cash from the passengers as they get into the bus, but you don't have the bus. So you either have to purchase that bus with the cash, you don't have the cash. You can finance that bus through normal financial institutions. Your books are not good. You can go and lease from manufacturers of the buses. They need good books, you don't have good books. Then you open a tender, you say, anyone who can lease me, and then people raise their hands and say, yes, I can lease you. Then you have conditions that you lease. But in the leasing itself, a key consideration is that you need to break even from that arrangement, and then you need to make a margin from that arrangement while you are cleaning your house. And in this case, cleaning our house has been helped because the government has given us some funds. Those funds were able to buy these 71 million buses. 71 buses that we have started the procurement process. And when you buy a bus, you don't pay and get it. You buy and then they go and manufacture it. Then that's why you would have the last buses being delivered, in this case, in March 2026. So between now and March 2026, if we don't operate, GNT will be no more. Then that is how we were particularly cornered as an institution to do the leasing. It's not preferred, but it's a bridge towards the other side where we'll have our own fleet operating. When we operate our own fleet, we have maximum profits that we have. Currently, a bus will run, a leased bus runs. It brings, I'll just use a figure for the discussion. It makes 130,000 a month, and then you must pay a lease fee for, let's say, 70,000. From that 130, you remain with the 70 that you remain with. If you don't lease, you won't get that remainder of 70 in the pocket, and then you are able to pay other things. You are able to build towards your own fleet. So that's where we are. But when you own your own bus, that is what we are building towards. The 70,000 that you pay for the lease now becomes your own bottom line, and then you begin to run faster towards that level where you have your own fleet, and then you are able to also secure the future of the company by investing, so that when these buses become older, you are able to replace them as they happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just in addition, if you look at the intention of the future fleet of GNT, which is 264, comprising of leased, procured fleet, own fleet, as well as refurbished fleet, you will realize that with our current buses of 59 and we go and purchase 71, it will then mean that out of 264, 130 is our own buses, and then the rest. So in terms of the ratio, it will be around 48% to 52 favor of leased ones. So under normal circumstances, of course, with the advantage that is indicating, even with the allocation that we had to buy buses, there was no way that we'll have afforded all the 264. So we looked at the efficiencies and the models of profitability. In terms of the second best leasing is there. But however, because we are starting these models now, as we complete the process of acquiring all the buses through list and the ones that we are going to acquire, we are going at some stage to look at the comparable numbers in terms of what is best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is not ideal to lease, but under the circumstances, you have to lease. Because when you lease, you are sharing your profit with the lessor, which ordinarily was supposed to be all your profit if it was your own bus. So we are moving from here because we are moving from a point where there was no buses at all. So for us to move towards that direction, we must do that. And the reason why we also lease is because every route must have a bus. If it does not have a bus, we pay penalties. And those penalties by Department of Transport, those penalties to us, they become fruitless and wasteful expenditure. They also give us challenges even in terms of our audits and everything. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. I forgot to tell you and your team, but yourselves, you know that our meeting are actually open to the public and media, via social media and so. Whatever the commitments that you have made here, the people of Limpopo are listening to you. So you were here the last time, and you even said in the presence of those that came with you to say, if things doesn't change, heads are going to roll. At least now even the people of Limpopo, they could see, they are also listening wherever they are, that heads indeed rolled, and there are new faces now, because you really want to turn around the institution. We want to appreciate that there is a strategy, there is a plan in place, and there are also those buses as part of the plans that are going to be used to continue to provide service to our people. Where we are sitting, we'll be able to give feedback to the petitioners in terms of the progress that has been registered so far. But I must say, at a particular time, honorable members, we will then have to embark on an oversight visit together, jointly with the Portfolio Committee on Economic Development, just also to satisfy ourselves of the developments that are taking place. But I think from our side, we appreciate the report that we have just received from yourselves. It has actually registered progress, and we want to appreciate that from time to time when we invite you to come and appear before the standing committee, we know we don't have to subpoena you, we just invite you, and you would come with your team, and we really want to appreciate that. And I don't think there is any other thing from our side. We then have to release you. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. afternoon or good morning, or it's still morning. It's 5 minutes to 12. Good morning, the team from South African Heritage Resource Agency, or Limpopo Heritage Resource Agency. Let me also welcome you to the meeting with the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. This is the Standing Committee of the Limpopo Legislature. I'm the chairperson of the Standing Committee. My name is Maurice Matabuche. I will quickly introduce other members of the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. Then after that, I would allow the Limpopo Heritage Resource Agency also to introduce themselves. But I must say that we actually invited you to have a meeting with us as a standing committee, together with our petitioners and the respondent. And the respondent is the Lepelle-Nkumpi local municipality. But we will not necessarily proceed with the meeting with the petitioners and the respondent, because normally what we do, we would want to have the political head of the institution to be part of the meeting. We had the same meeting with them last week Friday, which we also engaged with the petitioners and the respondent. Unfortunately, this morning we got a letter of apology from the mayor, Dr. Molala. She indicating that she's not well. But we thought it's proper that we allow you just also to get the brief from your side with regard to this matter of Nchabeling family graveside. So that at least we might be on the same page with yourselves as the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation, because we have received the petition from the petitioners from Nchabeleng's family. So, but we then want to engage with this matter and also have the same understanding and a proper advice and guidance from yourselves on how best really we could go around this matter. But without necessarily wasting time, let me introduce the honorable members. I will start with Honorable Mukaba, Honorable Kokane, Honorable Machete, Honorable Koshi Chivase, Honorable Sipuru, and Honorable Dr. Selani. And we also have support staff that they're actually assisting us. I would request the coordinator to quickly introduce them.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. My name is Pula Radingwami. I'm the coordinator for this committee. We have our researcher here, Mrs. Emily Masemola. We have Ndate Kotsa, who is our legal advisor. We have Joyce Malachi, who is our manager petitions. We have Ndate Mahwadi, Mr. Ndate Hwasha. Mahwadi is the name, who is from IT. At the back there, we have Ndate More, who is from communications. We have Ndate Nechitsive, who is also from communications.
So, do you have issues, Linda Dokota?
At the Kotsan, I've introduced, the member is saying, What about on the Patanzwana? I thought the chairperson will.
No, introduce that.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you, Chairperson. We have Date Patanzwana, who is from South African Human Rights Commission, who mostly provides support to our committee. We have Kate Masahela there at the back, who usually deals with our logistics outside. Thank you very much, Chair.
No, thank you very much, Coordinator. I would want now to take this opportunity to give to the Limpopo Heritage Resource Authority. I'm not sure who's leading, but I'm told that Professor Makhupa is leading the team. You don't have to stand up. You may sit wherever that you are and you introduce. They will assist you with the mic and just to introduce the team that you are with. Honorable members, because I was thinking that we're actually getting a brief, I must tell the team from Limpopo Heritage Resource Authority. Now, in terms of our standing rules, we normally open our meetings to the public and media because they need to understand how are we actually handling the issues that affect our people, or how are we handling the petitions. Now, in this case, I must inform you that you are also live, so that you should not be surprised even when you go outside and say, no, we heard you, we were listening to you, and we did not inform you that you are live. So we normally give notice to the public about our meetings, and they are always open to the public. These cameras that you see, you must know that we are live. So, but also what we also do in terms of Section 10 of the Petitions Act, that is the act that is actually guiding us. Anybody that appears before the standing committee, either to give evidence or document, supposed to take an oath or solemn affirmation. But in this case, because we are actually getting a brief, we will not proceed with the petitions. We will not take an oath or solemn affirmation, because we will then exempt you for that and we brief the committee. So that we get a briefing, so that when we initiate another meeting where the mayor is here, and she apologized, like I've said, but she has sent some wood, but we would prefer to have the mayor here, because we want somebody who could take decisions on behalf of the institution. So yeah, basically that is that. Let me give you an opportunity, Prof, to introduce your team, and immediately after that you could proceed briefing the committee about the report about Nchabelen's family grave sites.
Thank you, Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson Tate Mataboge, and honorable members of the legislature, and your executive team. It is a great pleasure for us as Limpopo Heritage Resources Authority to be part of this meeting. In terms of the National Heritage Resources Act number 25 of 1999, we are a provincial heritage agency. The country has got 9 of them, and in this case, they do differ in terms of their names. We are all linked. We work closely with the South African Heritage Agency, which is SARA. So we are sort of a satellite. That's why I agreed, because both the provincial heritage agencies and SARA are governed by one act, which is the NARA Act. And in terms of the act,
we advise the MEC on heritage matters. We are a statutory body, we are independent, and we directly report to the MEC for Sport, Arts and Culture. Now, in terms of the current deployment of board members, we are 9. So today, as per the advice we received from Mrs. Malaji, she said at least a maximum of 5. So that is why we are 5 here. So my name is Professor Mokale Mahopa. I'm serving as the chairperson of the Limpopo Heritage Resources Agency. We've been recently appointed. The MEC appointed us last year, July. Now, with me, I'm accompanied by Ntate Munama, who will raise his hand. Ntate Munama is serving as the secretary of the board. And next to him is Professor Sekhutle Mokhwatjane, who is a board member. Then next to him is Ms. Aspasia Baker. She is serving as our treasurer. And the lady, let me first introduce Dirk. And Dirk de Wet is a board member. And then the lady that accompanies us is our heritage practitioner. So she is employed by the department. Now, in terms of the Limpopo Heritage Regulation, these are designated officials that must give support to the entire board. So now the CEO is not with us. He has been deployed somewhere, Mr. Charles Mudiba. So she reports directly to him. Now, in terms of the two legislations, the NARA Act, as well as the Limpopo Heritage Regulation, we are supposed to have about 6 designated officials who must do the operational work because we are providing oversight. So that is why Ma Gina Mary is with us. Thank you, Chairperson. Then I'm not sure who's going to brief the committee on the Nchabeling family gravesite. I'm not sure whether it's proper. You delegate somebody to do that on behalf of the board. Thank you, Chairperson. The two of us, after all, we will all participate, but there has to be someone who must lead us. Now, after receiving the email from Mrs. Malaji concerning the Nchabeling saga, as I indicated that we are a new board, and again also in terms of the NARA Act, we are not yet competent. We are still going, under training. SARA is training us, so which means our powers are limited. Now, what we did, we escalated the matter to SARA, so to give us advice on this matter. Now, incidentally, SARA participated in the 2021 investigation. So I've included the memorandum as well as the report that SARA prepared for this matter, as well as the recommendations as per their investigations. Now, besides that, we are fortunate as LIRA because Mr. de Wet, by then, he was an employee of the department. So he was part of the team that did the investigation.
So we are going to allow him to lead us in the discussion concerning this matter because he was physically there, he participated. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, Chairperson, I might say, early in 2021, a letter was sent to the department with a complaint regarding the graves at in Chabaleng graves and violations that took place. The letter was sent to the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. At the time, like the chairperson said, I was an employee of the department, and I knew this was a matter that had to be dealt by the Heritage Resources Agency. So I forwarded this matter to the then chairperson of LIRA. But we realized that the provincial agency does not have a burial ground unit in it. That responsibility lies with SARA. So I contacted SARA, I referred the letter to them. And round about March 2021, they sent a delegation up here. We did a site visit at the site to look at the problem there. Present then was SARA. There were 2 people from SARA, the Graves unit. There was a member of the Lira Council at the time. I don't remember his name. Myself was there. We had representatives of the local Lepelle and Kombi municipality was there. The South African Police Services were there. And then the family that laid the complaint in Chabaleng, their representatives were present. And also the current owner of the property where the building, a building was erected on 2 of the 3 graves on top of the lady was also present there. Then at the site inspection, the buildings that were actually erected on top of the graves were rooms in the back of the property that I think the lady was renting out to tenants, to people to stay in. What we learned that day was, I was there more in a role as an observer because I had to report back to the department of what transpired at the meeting. But the stand was allocated by the municipality to the lady, I think her name was, what was her name? Sorry? Yeah. And apparently the lady knew about the graves when she was allocated the stands. In fact, part of the graves were fenced off, not with a permanent fence, just it was sort of fenced off. She was very much aware of the graves there. And subsequently, when she did the buildings, the additional buildings alterations to the property, she knew beforehand that the graves were there. But in spite of that, she erected the building on 2 of the graves. The one of the graves is just outside the building. Now, this was obviously in contravention of the act. It was pointed out to her by SARA that this was a violation of the act. And what subsequently was recommended at the time is that the complainant was to lay a complaint with the SAPS. Because if you did that, the legal process would determine the outcome of the problem. Now, we are not aware if she actually did lay a complaint, which I presume did not happen. But at the site meeting, it was also resolved that it was recommended by Sarah that if the complainants agree that we should actually not destroy the buildings, but lift the floors in the building and exhume the graves and have a reburial at another suitable venue. And that would have required a permit from Sarah and a professional person that does this kind of work to exhume the graves. It appears to me, basically that is what was resolved. The municipality, I think, was also maybe in the wrong that they never came to inspect the erection of the buildings that I think should have happened. Because, you know, building regulations, you have to submit plans, you need to inspect, you need to do that thing. And that was obviously also not, it did not happen like that. So the matter was referred to Sarah. Sarah was about to give a notice to the complainant that they actually contravened the law. And it was also apparent that the police that were there on the day was not quite sure on how to deal with this matter. They had not dealt with matters of this nature before. So the option basically was that the complainant could have laid a complaint formally with the police, which then would obviously lead to a court deciding legally what the recourse should be. If not, if there was an agreement between the complainant and Ms. Makwela, then the other route should apply, that the exhumation process be done, and obviously under the supervision of Sarah. Now, this matter, since then, I retired shortly after that, not long after that. But this matter, as far as I was concerned, was now in the hands of Sarah. So I was quite surprised to hear today that this matter, so many years now, 3 years later, is still in the pipeline. So I personally think, we all had a look at the site. It was basically agreed that exhumation should have taken place and the reburial should also be done, and the costs of this exercise should be given to the perpetrator, Ms. Makwena. What is the name? Yeah, Ms. Makwena. She would then have to carry the costs of this whole exercise, and that reburial and exhumation should be done by a professional archaeologist that is registered, and that the work be done according to professional standards in that way. I think in a nutshell, this is what transpired there. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I'm not sure whether Prof. you still wants to come back.
No, Chairperson. The oral presentation by Mr. Gillette is supported by the... Thank you. And Sarah also made a recommendation in that document. And the recommendation is as per the guidelines of the National Heritage Act. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. and other board members. Now, maybe just quickly to to explain and maybe also just to give you a background, this matter was actually adjudicated by the previous petition, the Standing Committee on Petitions and Public Participation. Now, when we have met last week, we're actually doing re-adjudication on the matter just to check the progress, how far, because there were certain resolutions that the committee took that time. But we felt we then had to follow it up because the petitioner also wanted to get the progress report, because this matter, they also referred the matter to the Standing Committee on Petitions. Now, we have met with them. They were here, they were still outside, but the municipality is here, but we wanted the political head of the institution to be here. Now, ourselves as a standing committee, we are not a court of law, but part of our responsibility is to mediate between the petitioner and the respondent. And the respondent in this case is actually the municipality of Lepelle-Nkumbi, because they are the ones that allocated the stand to Ms. Makwel. And the petitioner is also complaining about them to say there is actually the grace of our families there. Now, part of our responsibility is to mediate between the two and get the amicable solution, and also acting at the best interest of the petitioner and listening to what the petitioner wants to see happening. So, unfortunately, we also invited the MEC for Coxter, who's also responsible for housing. So we thought if they are here, because part of the thing of our own investigations that has been done by our researchers and so, Ms. Makwela, she's willing also to move from that side. If then Ms. Makwela is willing to move from the side, then which means we could then look into the possibilities together with the municipality and Coxter, because they are also responsible for women settlement. If they can get either a good Samaritan or they build a house somewhere as a way of actually settling the matter, so that we are able also to close the petition. And there was also a political will from the mayor in our adjudication meeting last week Friday. Unfortunately, she's not well today. So that's why we thought we could actually get a briefing from your side. Even if we are going to have another meeting, we must also invite you. And we still had to get the very same report. And in that meeting, then we'll request you to take an oath, because whatever that we say here, you know you are speaking under oath or solemn affirmation. Whatever that you are here, you must know you are speaking under oath. So, but it's not about that, it's about getting the matter resolved. So I think, honorable members, if we have actually heard them, and your story is very clear. I was also, as and when you were talking, I was looking into the report that you also sent to us. You were actually aligning with what you said in the report that you have sent us. I would suggest, honorable members, maybe we allow, if you don't have anything to ask from, but if there's anything, then I could give. So we allow the petitioners together with the municipality, because we would want everyone else to officially postpone this meeting and have another meeting where we have all relevant stakeholders present. And I believe that time we'll be able also to have an amicable solution, because there is a political will from the head of the institution, who in this case is the Lepelle Nkumbi municipality. Yes, the respondent were not, the petitioners were not happy because the matter has now taken too long, but we understand the frustrations. Even myself, I would understand if somebody had to come and build on my family's, you know, in our culture, we don't allow such things. For me, it might also be a disrespect, sort of. So we thought that's how we could approach this matter. Then we get ourselves, we get the Women Rights Commission. So as and when we are doing handling, so that we give also guidance and support, because we should not miss any other steps, so that when you are here, when you are dealing with this matter, and you might be also to guide and give support to us as the committee and the petitioners and the respondent. So, but yeah, I think that should be the approach. We could then allow them to get in. I thought I must also just give you this background so that you must understand where we are, because we are also new from the 7th Parliament, but we also had to take responsibility of what happened in the previous committee. So basically that is that. Then we can then allow the petitioners and the respondent to come in. Good afternoon once more. Let me welcome you to this meeting. We have allowed the petitioners to get into the meeting together with the respondents. The petitioners in this case is the Nchabele, and the respondent is the Lepelle-Nkumbi municipality. Like I've indicated that we got an apology of the mayor, Dr. Mulala, that she's not well and she might not be with us in today's meeting. But she then sent Councillor Mulomo, who is also the member of the executive committee, to come and represent her. But there is a principled decision that it has taken by the standing committee on petitions and public participation to say we would prefer to have the political head in the meeting, because normally we don't want somebody who still has to go back and consult. We want somebody who could take decisions on behalf of the institution. I must appreciate that I'm not sure what is the hand all about. Alinkwe. Oh, okay. Ke tla leka ho bolela hodimonyana ho feta moo. No, I was saying we received an apology from the mayor of Lepelle-Nkumbi, Dr. Mulala, that she's not well. Remember, we were here last week and we have agreed that this coming Friday we need to come and have a meeting today, this Friday. Unfortunately, we got the letter this morning that she's not well, and it's something that is actually beyond us. We can't say, no, she's not well. If she says she's not well, we respected for the mere fact that she wrote to us and inform us as the standing committee. Previously, when we called her, she appeared before the standing committee. We did not actually have a problem or challenges with regard to that. Now, the principal position of the standing committee is that even if we accept that there is somebody representing her from the municipality, we appreciate that at least she respected the committee and there is a delegation from the institution. But the committee would have loved to have the mayor here, so that we're actually looking at the complex and the magnitude of the nature of the case. So we needed somebody who could take decision on behalf of the institution. And we appreciate that there's an accounting officer is here and other managers from the manager planning from the municipality. However, we are saying, looking at the complex of the matter and the nature of the matter, we wanted the political head to be here. We have actually invited the Human Rights Commission. We have invited the Limpopo Heritage Resource Agency, There's a huge delegation led by Professor Makgopa as the board chair, who are with us today. Now, we are saying we will then have to reschedule this meeting to another date. And we also have invited the MEC for Coxton. Unfortunately, he could not be with us yesterday and today because he's hosting MINMEC in the province. All other MECs responsible for Coxton, they are with him in the province. And considering that, we then had to accept that apology. And the reason why, because you will understand, Tore, why we have actually invited him, is also to, as and when there's a need for the issue of relocation and so on, the possibility of him getting in because he's responsible for women's settlement. So based on that, we thought we then had to postpone because we want to amicably, because there was also a possibility that Women's Rights Commission is here, because we want to deal with this matter as the standing committee and actually have an amicable solution to the matter. And I'm told that Ms. Makwela, she's also here, and I would love to see her. Where is she? We also want to appreciate that you are here, Ma. Honorable members, I thought maybe it's important because just also to do introduction so that even if we are postponing, we need to know who's here. I will quickly introduce to you I get sure while the distapana meeting work. Katlombo, I get sure what Zepini Marage, Hopela Vescara distapana this meeting. Katlombo. Let me introduce myself as the chair of the standing committee. My name is Maurice Matabuche. On my right is Honorable Mukawa, Honorable Pokane, Honorable Machete, Honorable Kosi Chivase, Honorable Sipuru, Honorable Dr. Selani. These are the members of the standing committee. There is also a support staff. Because of time, I don't think you then have to introduce yourselves. I will allow the delegation from the municipality to quickly introduce themselves so that for the best interest of our invitees to this meeting, because we have the Limpopo Heritage Resource Agency, we have Human Rights Commission, which I would also allow after your introduction. I would allow you them to introduce themselves, and Human Rights Commission, and I would also request the petitioners also to introduce themselves so that we are able also to know who's here, and ultimately allow Mama Kwela to also introduce herself so that we know each other. The municipality, I'm not sure, Councillor Mulong, can you quickly do that? Introduce your team.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Molomo Octavia, the chairperson of Planning and Housing in Lebelle Nkumbi, and I'm with the acting MM, Mr. Mananga, and the manager in the planning department, Mr. Stiva.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prof, can you quickly introduce your team for the benefit of the respondent and the petitioners?
Absolutely. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I'm Professor Mukhale Makgopa. I'm the chairperson of LIRA. I'm accompanied by Mr. Munama, who is our secretary. Professor Sukhute Mkhojani is a board member. Ms. Aspasia Baker is our treasurer. Mr. Derek Tivet is a board member, and we've got a representative of the department, Ms. Gina Mary. Thank you.
Can you give advocates from Women Commission? Can you help with the mic, please?
Thank you, Chair. Advocate Muneba Danswana, Senior Legal Officer, South African Human Rights Commission in Limpopo.
Thank you very much. You can just give the petitioner and Chairman just to introduce,
Ke ba tsebishe le ba ke sepelang nabo o ba ke ba fe le bona ba tsebishe
ka mogolo le ka bona o ka le comfortable ka hona le ka ba tsebisha or ba ka itsebisha ke ra ba ba sepelang le wena
nna ke nna Mapuru Kenneth Shaku
Thobela ke nna Raese Jadaina Khokolo kwa family Nchabeleng
Thobela ke nna Matsimela Albert Nchabeleng from Nchabeleng's family.
Thobela nna ke nna Maredi William Phahlele ke tlogolo Khukhu sa Mokgajwe re bolelang ka ena.
Re le temishi ka moka nna ke nna Potlaki Phakwaho ke nna malome ya Mama Kwela.
Ke le dumedisha ka moka nna ke nna Mama Kwela ke setlogolo sa ka ga Nchabeleng kwa ga Nchabeleng.
The reason why I was doing that, ne ke nyaka le khone o tseba hore di ke maitapisho a mofuta mang a re a tsereng hore tle re tlo khone ho bana le kopano ya lehono. Mara ke nyaka o fa the petitioner an assurance ya hore this meeting re tlo dira and we will not re ka se o kopantse any other thing, honorable members. Relevant the nature of this case. Resato reconvene and Ranete as the standing committee for all the people invited for this meeting. Like on our honor today, we visited Limpopo Heritage Resource Authority. We visited Human Rights Commission. We visited Maspal, Walepelle Nkumbi. We visited family Makwela, so that we can have a solution to this matter. Rakushisha ore kano ba itere nako, mara rena le boikemisetso ba hore we want nyako bona this matter will be resolved in an amicable way. And kanako ekuchane longoring ekaba hon. All what I'm saying is that we are committed as the standing committee to make sure that this matter gets resolved. And we are going to actually give it a day and deal with this matter alone. But we get all the relevant people that's supposed to be part of this meeting, so that as and when we mediate, we make sure that this matter gets resolved. We will still invite the MEC for Coxstar. We will invite the Limpopo Heritage Resource Authority. We will invite the Human Rights Commission. We will invite Mrs. Makwela. And we will also make sure we allocate this not with any other matter, so that this matter gets the necessary attention that it deserves. that is the commitment there dirang. It could have been dragged for quite too long, but just be patient with us because we are determined to see this matter really resolved. I think that's the submissions that I wanted to make on behalf of the members of the standing committee. So yeah, until we thought riskerally release are from outside, but look on the efforts that they're detention just to make sure that how serious are we in making sure that we resolve this matter. We want to thank you for honoring our invitation. Even next time when we invite you, please come and so that we get this matter resolved. Because the family of Nchabeling also wanted the closure on this matter because they have been sitting with it for quite too long. And we are actually committed as the standing committee in making sure that this matter gets resolved. Without wasting your time, we could then release you, then we'll remain with, Nchabeling,
modula stulo o kgonne go bontšha gore faele le mo pele ga gago e bontšha gore ke kgale go iwa godimo lefase ka yona go tšeiwa dipheto tše e le gore at the end of the day are not implemented. So it's just go up and down and no solution. Mero ba le mo suddenly wa ba yo well ye we ka se ra re e awo le lengwalo mohlomong ga le gona la go bontšha gore wa ba yo jwale re gopetse ga re go pela anya re boela morago re ka no khwetsa nna go e tlago o se sa le modula stulo ra tara thoma fase gape ka o mongwe. She has been lodging divorce for the married by foreigners. Every day when she go to Home Affairs, get new face, start all over again. So now, next time we may not be a chairperson. Then we are going to. I don't know how this thing has been held. Lady Tokoman Jansiki Jegam, the resolution has been taken. Why? If they send you, you've got the power of attorney. The decision that we take it here is binding to that one who sent you here. Really, na waba morumileng o se letter of appointment go ba no tlalena ya no ba o ka re bia le ke o no tla mo re closure the lunch le re sepela now and then. So na be ke re my gore iske ya ba along again e be gausinyana maybe after 2 weeks or 3 weeks re boe re tle mo re tle re fetse ntwe ka gore next week re ka no ba re ile go perform heritage ka mola and mme o ke mozelwana re tlhaba dikgogo ka mola ra bina malopo in our graveyard okay ya le ge ka itšea nako e telele gape e tlo re go batša ke kgopelo ya ka e gore na while after 2 weeks or 3 weeks re boe gape mo mme a ra re bone na o tla lwala ngwago ka moka na because wa e tseba ntwe she knows about it. So Tokomani Shikamu, if it was a court, they will issue a court order. It's clear Fedele Heritage was attending this thing. Bangwaleli Actigamori is punishable to destroy the grave. Again, it's an offense. But no one take action. That is our plea. But we felt that if this thing can be after 2 or 3 weeks, then we come back again, it will be better. Thank you.
No, because the programming committee, in the next 3 weeks, it's in table or we will happy but re tlo netefatsa hore bommeyara ba hona ba hona le MEC ba hona, because a re sa nyaka gore ntho e tšee nako e telele ya go feta, because re nyaka, that's why re nyaka a person, a political head of the institution wa kgonang go tšea diphetho. Lengwalo re le kry-ile wa confirma gore councillor Molomo o tla ba emetse, member executive o tla ba emetse office ya mayor, mara re sure whether o tla ba na le delegated powers, but re nyaka mayor, because re nyaka gore everything e no dirahala, because what we have seen, there was also a political will from her that, and in the next 3 weeks re tla be re tlhakane hape, because we want to put this matter to finality. So we really tshepiša gore re tlo dira bjao, so that re šome ka lebaka le la ba ha Ntšhabeleng re kgone gore le beela ka thoko, re kgone go tswalela le file. No re le kwele re tlo pheta within the next 3 weeks re tlo dira bjao. Le rena re lebeletse gore this matter has actually dragged too long, and we need to make sure that we attend to the matter to its finality. Re a leboga e re se ke ra le tsenyetsa nako re le releaseng, re tla sala le members of the standing committee. We want also to thank you, Prof, and the board members. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Human Rights Commission, thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Please come again when we invite you. Like we are saying, we anticipate to have this meeting in the next 3 weeks, so that we are able also to deal with it to its finality. Thank you very much. We can then release you. Le hato la mayara le lena re a le leboga ba masepala le Lepelle Nkumbi, re a le lokolla.